Okay, good morning, friends. It's Dr. John WorldPeace JD. I believe it's Tuesday the 12th, Wednesday, the 12th of January, 6 a.m. Mountain Time. And this morning, we're going to talk about world peace, teaching peace, negative mindsets of Republicans, fundamentalists, and evangelical Christians, and the COVID. Most of you do not believe in the words of Jesus, even though you claim to believe in them. Jesus said this: ask and receive, seek and find, knock and enter. If you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Nothing will be impossible for you. If you believe in me, you'll do the works that I do, and greater works than these will you do. And what these words mean is that we as individual groups, nations, and the world human society script our future. We write the future. What we project, what we write, is what is going to happen. That's what this says. Jesus is not a liar. The red letter words in the Bible Christians believe are the actual words that Jesus said. And these are red letter words. The book of Revelation is the false book of Revelation, is a set in stone doom and gloom scenario for the future, and it is a false book. It is a book written by an unknown writer. The words of Jesus were spoken to crowds of followers and his disciples and recorded as red letter words in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That is not true of the words in the book of Revelation that were supposedly given to someone named John, who heard but did not see Jesus. These words are false because they were not spoken to groups of people such as Jesus. What Jesus said could be vetted and analyzed. The Republicans and evangelical and fundamentalist Christians, preachers, are very negative people who support Donald Trump, an abomination to God and Jesus. Donald Trump hates the radical left liberals. Jesus' message of love one another, do not judge, do unto others as you would have done to you, feed the hungry, tend to the sick, help those in need. This is the ultimate liberal, radical left message. If you say you're saved and you believe in Jesus, you're a radical left liberal. Across the board. Politics is a way to implement these words of Jesus. If you curse Jesus and you curse the liberal left, you are cursing Jesus. That's the Trump message. If you go to church on Sunday and claim to be saved, and after church you take up the hate Jesus, hate liberal mantra of Donald Trump and the Republicans, you're not saved. You're an abomination to God and Jesus. Jesus said a house divided cannot stand. You cannot support Donald Trump and the Republicans and Jesus. You have to choose. If you choose Trump and the Republicans, you hate Jesus and love Trump and the Republicans, and you're going to hell, according to your own Bible. Mitch McConnell is one of the most evil Republicans. He manipulates his power against the people and for the rich. He worked against Obama because he was black. And he works against Biden because he is in sync with Obama. and is trying to uplift the disenfranchised bottom of the social pyramid in America. If you want to help the poor, the sick, and those on the bottom of the social pyramid, you're a liberal. And if you're a liberal, you don't belong as a Republican. You don't belong as a Trump follower. The Republicans under McConnell have twice refused to convict Donald Trump, even though he was impeached by the House. McConnell denied Obama appointing his choice for the Supreme Court. The Republicans refused to admit and acknowledge that Trump tried to stop Biden from being certified as the next president by the House, and that Trump, created a violent insurrection to stop Biden from being certified as the winner of the 2020 presidential election. That is a traitor. Trump, the traitor, and all his minions that stormed the Capitol, hurt 140 officers, claim they love America. They are liars. They are traitors. And they need to all be placed in jail. The Republicans gave tax breaks to the rich, cut the Medicare benefits, medical benefits to the poor. They refused to attend Biden's speech the other day on the anniversary of the January 6th insurrection. Well, I guess so. They're the ones that promoted it. They promoted Trump. Trump rattled these people to go do stupid things, and they did it. Now he's acting like he didn't do anything, or that all these people were patriots that tore down the bastion of the democracy. They went in there and tore the place up and hurt people. Now McConnell says he's going to stop Biden in his efforts to turn around the 19 states who have tried to restrict voting rights. And McConnell is saying if Biden tries to get rid of the filibuster, then McConnell is going to shut down the Senate. That's not the American way. That's a creep with the white hair attitude. And it's anti-American and it's traitorous. The Republicans and Evangelical and Fundamentalist Christians have pushed a doom and gloom message of the false book of Revelation. Jesus is not coming back because he never left. If you think Jesus left, then stand up in church and loudly speak, Jesus is not here. Do that on Sunday. If you're not willing to do that, then you believe Jesus is present. And you do not believe in the false book of Revelation about the second coming of Jesus. The whole message of the book of Revelation is just fear-mongering, mind control by false Christians and their false preachers to increase their personal wealth, putting a negative message out to the world human society. And we have negativity coming up. We're headed for an apocalypse, not because Jesus is about to return, but because a sick world human society in general and hate-filled Christians demand to use fossil fuels as energy, which is causing the burning down of the Garden of Eden, which God commanded Adam to maintain. You believe in the Bible, you're supposed to maintain the planet, not burn it down. We're headed for an apocalypse future because that's what the fundamentalists and evangelical Christians are projecting as the future of the world. The book of Revelation, false book of Revelation scenario. And we're getting it. Except Jesus is not coming back because he didn't leave. The false Christians say Jesus is returning to set up a kingdom on earth when Jesus said over and over and over and over, my kingdom is not of this earth. Jesus is a spiritual teacher. He is not a corporate religious bureaucrat like the Pope. You know, the guy that enables pedophiles. The guy that subordinates all the women in the world saying, no, you can't join our club. The Catholic Church is run by men, not women. It's insane for a female to be a Catholic when they're making you second-class citizens, reducing your pay, increasing your workload. Across the entire world, women are second-class citizens, and the Catholic Church is promoting that with 2 billion Christians. So much for the Pope. Hebrews 10:12 in the New Testament, 8:10-12, Jeremiah in the Old Testament, 31, 33, 34, says the same thing. Old and New Testament, Jeremiah, Hebrews. God put his laws in your hearts and minds, and all you have to do is study, meditate, and pray to find the truth. Nobody needs to teach anyone. That's exactly what the words of those verses say. But for money, the false preachers try to convince human beings they, the preachers, have the truth, and the truth is not accessible to you in your heart and mind. This is the core message of the Catholic Church. You got to go talk to the nun, who talks to the priest, that talks to the cardinal, that talks to the pope, that talks to Mary, that talks to Jesus, that talks to God. Come on, give me a break. Hebrews in their own Bible that the Catholics wrote said, God is in your heart and your mind. No one needs to teach anybody. This attitude is an abomination to God and Jesus. There's a reckoning coming. You got to be totally blind not to see it. The coronavirus is a God event put in to end Donald Trump as president, and it worked. Nothing has worked for Donald Trump since December 2019. Right on up to losing the election. But the virus cannot be controlled because of the tension and chaos in the world human society, because of the negative future that the fundamentalists and evangelistic Christians are projecting. And their partners in crime, the Republicans, are focusing on all Americans with their refusal to do their job and do their work with the Democrats to deal with the coronavirus and all the economic problems associated with it, and the same problems with the fossil fuels and the weather. This is extreme weather. Oh, the Omicron virus, it's a weaker virus, no problems. We're in worse shape now than with the Delta virus. It ain't going away, folks, because the fundamentalists and Christians are preaching and pushing this doom and gloom future. It's just that simple. Jesus says we craft, script, write the future. That's what his verses say. If you're not believing that, then you're not a Christian and you're not saved. God sent the shadow of death to kill the firstborn in Egypt, and then told Moses to tell the people to put blood on their doorposts and the shadow of death would pass them by. God let loose the coronavirus on earth, and then we have a vaccine. Same as the blood on the doorpost. Take the vaccine, you're going to have a milder case, and you're probably not going to die. No vaccine. You see it in the hospitals now. People are dying like flies again because they didn't get the vaccine. How stupid. How totally stupid. God gives you a vaccine to avoid death and pain and suffering, and you won't take it? Don't listen to anybody that's not vaccinated. They're crazy. And they're certainly not paying attention. The refusal to get vaccines are shutting down the schools. The groceries and supplies are not moving into the stores because there's nobody to drive the trucks. We kind of solved the logistical problems of moving things out of the ports, and now all the drivers are sick. And the employees in the store to put the food on the shelf are sick. Biden refuses to mandate vaccines within the borders of America like what is happening in Canada and Italy. If everyone was vaccinated, all the school problems, all the supply problems, all the economic problems, all the sickness, and all that would end. It's that simple. The 25% that are not vaccinated need to have restrictions like no travel, no airplanes, no going into restaurants. Biden needs to make an order. Get vaccinated or stay home. We are in dark times not because of the book of Revelation, but because of the evil of human beings who demand to burn down the Garden of Eden because they're hooked on fossil fuels. And they create chaos in the world, human society, by refusing to get vaccinated. I'm Dr. John WorldPeace, JD, the only global advocate for peace in the world. I have no peers. Look at my resume. I'm the only person on the planet that claims to be the advocate of Jesus per the Gospel of John 14:26, 15:26, 16:13. I don't have anybody challenging me. Not any of these tens of thousands of preachers in America, hundreds of thousands all over the world, have challenged me as the advocate for Jesus. Why? Because they know that I'm saying the truth. Jesus' solution is to come together, project a positive future without fossil fuels, and the end of the coronavirus. It's just that simple. It's what he said. Ask and receive, seek and find, knock and enter. If you have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. If you believe in me, you can do the things I do, and greater things can you do. That's what he said. We're not doing it. We're listening to the Republicans and the fundamentalists and evangelical preachers who are preaching negativity. Doom of the gloom, doom and gloom, end of the world, because Jesus is coming back to set up his kingdom. No, he's not. He never left, and his kingdom is not of this earth. Pay attention. As Elijah the prophet brought a reckoning with the false preachers of Baal, I've challenged the false preachers of the book of Revelation. None have come forward to challenge me, and they are not turning away from their negative manipulation of their congregations. A warning to the wise is sufficient. But those who have eyes see, and those who have ears hear. I have a contributions link. Explains in detail what's going to happen with the money. There's also a link on this where you can read the entire text of this script I just read to you. And you can go to John WorldPeace, which again is linked below. And that's my flagship website with 15,000 pages on it. Friends, we're in tough times because people are stupid. Get the vaccine. Get rid of Donald Trump. Jesus said a house divided cannot stand. Jesus is saying heal the sick, take care of the people in need, and Donald Trump is saying, and that is a liberal, radical, ultra radical liberal message. If you say you're saved, you believe in that message. And Donald Trump is saying if you believe in that message, you're stupid. That the whole problem with the world is the radical left. The radical left is a Christian left. The real Christians, the real saved Christians, are radical liberals, not just on Sunday morning, all throughout the week. Now things are getting serious, people, and I'm irritated that there's so much stupidity going on trying to stop the election certification, breaking into the halls of democracy, tearing things up, hurting the guards. What kind of sick people do that? Well, I'll tell you. Trumpites, Republicans. I don't think you saw any Democrats tearing down the Capitol on January 6th last year. Wake up. So Dr. John WorldPeace, JD, coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Have a good day and wake up.